G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is AKs of the Wasteland, featuring Chinese assault rifles, Galils, and a bunch of different AK variants. And here's the kicker. What you are seeing here is just one standalone weapon modified into several different forms. So you can create and mix and match between all of these parts to create your very own rifle. It can be as blessed and as cursed as you like it, which is great. The design philosophy here, I think, is perfect. It makes perfect use of Fallout 4's modification system to allow for maximum customization and a whole bunch of creativity. You can sort of tinker with this thing to get the best performance, tinker it for a sort of specific role, or have an all-round rifle that'll do every job. Not the best, but well enough to be a balanced thing that you can use in most situations. I love this weapon mod already. I haven't even shot anything yet. So let's take a quick look at some of these AK variants I've created, and I suppose I should explain how the customization works to allow you to create so many different weapons from one single weapon mod. So first of all, we've got the AK-112. This is the classic Fallout 1 and 2 assault rifle chambered in 5mm, just like it is back in those classic games. Now that is because I've got the 5mm receiver here. There's also an option for a semi-auto version of that as well, the hunting variant of the receiver, as it were. But there's also options for 7.62 full power rifle cartridges. This one's going to be utilizing the same rounds as the handmade rifles back in Fallout 4 Nuka World DLC. There's also the para version of the receivers, which will give you that Galil look about it. And if you see salvage in front of any of these, that salvage prefix just means the dust cover's missing. It's got that sort of Wasteland look of sort of in a state of disrepair, but still working anyway. Maybe that dust cover's lost and is far behind on its travel. So there's also options for army receivers as well, which are the Chinese assault rifle looking receivers. Very sort of boxy setup here, but it makes it look like the Fallout 3 Chinese assault rifles, which is kind of cool. Obviously that'll chamber the 5.56 rounds like it did back in Fallout 3. There's also the Mariner auto receivers, which I think that's the shorter barrel AK receivers there. And there's also options for the standard USSR, which is the lighter intermediate 5.56 cartridge, but with the AK-74 sort of setup there. See, you can tell they're just a little bit different there. That one's made for the shorter barrel AKs, but all of them can be attached on this particular setup. So like I said before, lots of customization, but that's how you change the receivers. The way you get damage out of this thing is if you go down to your internals. This is basically your receivers, so you can crank that up to tier 7 at rank 4 commando and rank 4 gun nut. You can make this thing do plus 100% damage, which is pretty neat. Moving on to the shorter barreled AK-74U, this is a good time to show off the stocks because you can see them. So you can have stockless, triangular, collapsed wire, which is just a collapsed version of the wire stock. That's the Chinese assault rifle stock. There's also the para that's designed for the Galils. And you've also got a flippy airborne one, and the heavy stock that we saw on the AK-112 earlier, polymer. And there's a specialist stock, which is just a single wire and it bruise your shoulder or something. It's not very comfortable. Wooden stock, DMR stock, and a marksman stock too. A little bit like a SVD or a VSS in those stocks, which is kind of awesome. Next one, this is just an AKS-74N. Looks like something you'd find out of Escape from Tarkov, the Bakelite magazine. Very, very shiny on this one. There's also an ASVL, which has a dedicated barrel and a magazine. The stock, honestly, having the Chinese assault rifle stock on this thing is close enough, and having that sort of a boxier frame of the Chinese assault rifle here makes a lot of sense. This is using the post-war 5mm rounds, and I think that suits the ASVL quite well. I'm going to need some sort of reflex sight on that thing to really complete the look, but we'll go over to the next one, which is this Chinese assault rifle. This one is an LMG variant with a big old 75 round magazine. You've also got this one with the anchorage paint. Looks really, really cool. There's also a compact version of the Chinese assault rifle. This one I've given the fold around stock because I think that makes it look even more compact. And with this gigantic magazine on the LMG variant of the Chinese assault rifle, let's talk about magazines for a second. You can tell just by looking at the names, the round capacities, but they come in many different shapes and forms. And some of them have a little bit more curvature than others. Some of them with the stronger curvature, allowing for the cartridge size or the dimensions of the 7.62 cartridge. So that's why some of them are a little bit curvier than others. But the highest capacity is up there at 75, and your lowest capacity in a couple of different forms is down to just 10 rounds, which I believe is civilian spec. So the Bakelite stuff is all modern firearm stuff. There's that plastic one for the ASVL. The waffle ones appear to be the same ones as your Chinese assault rifle back in Fallout 3, which is really, really cool. There's this slab one, which is archaic according to the description here. The stamped one here is the Para's compact magazine. Allows for faster reloads, makes sense. Ribbed is your Type 93 magazines, and then, of course, you got that big old Bakelite RPK magazine. And then you've got these Ranger custom-made ones as well. This refurbished 35-round magazine, that's your Para magazine as well. A little bit better capacity than your standard other Para mags. You can also create knockoff Dragunovs with this thing. You can just throw a Dragunov barrel and stock onto an AKM, and there you go. This one's got a 10-round magazine because it's a sniper. I don't need more than 10 rounds. I'm going to one-shot everything, right? Next, we've got the East German AKS MPI 74NK, which has this different handguard. I've also put a gigantic magazine on there because why not? And here we get into the Galils. So this is the machine gun variant, the light machine gun variant with a longer barrel and a bipod tucked underneath for supported fire. There's also a compact version here with a sort of a shorter barrel setup, and then you've just got a standard longer barrel here with the Galils. So that's the extent of the Galils. It's an Israeli rifle, so it's not really Soviet, but it all sort of works together with this sort of mesh setup, so they've done pretty well to make it all fit in fairly seamlessly. There's also this Hungarian AKM 63. You can tell that it's a Hungarian version because it's got that weird handguard here, which is a little bit different. We haven't seen anything quite like that on our previous AK, so that's what it is. I've also given it that cool magazine with the sort of the ribs there. And I suppose we could talk about the optics as well. Now, even with the Galil versions of this thing, you'll still get that weird AK mount when it comes to putting sights on this thing, but it all works out. It fits itself well with all of the different meshes or models of the receiver, so nothing to complain about there. You'll also notice how it picks up the paint that I've got on this thing as well, which is nice. So this is Waste Sight, which is described as state-of-the-art Wasteland craftsmanship. Then you go over to the actual factory-made stuff, including Feelong, the Viper reflex sight, which looks like that. That's a cool setup there. And ooh, you can actually see the reflex sight there. And the fact that it's not a single thing in the middle plastered painted onto the sight means it probably works in VR as well. I want to test that out and see if that actually works. But there's also these reflex sights are different. This one looks blue. That's cool. There's also scopes down here, including Ranger scopes, PU, Telepin, IR. Ooh, night vision. Cool. And there's also other scopes. There's PSOs here. I put that on a Dragunov before, but that looks like it doesn't pick up any of the paint. So we'll go for something that'll work with the paint, which will go this Hollow Moon reflex sight. Can we turn that around and see the actual sight in it? We can as well, just a standard little dot there. If you're on a phone, then you probably can't see it. And I think that's pretty much it, except for the paint. So all of these have a little extra attachment thing. You can attach Gobi campaign paint on it. It comes with a Star Wars reference. It's coarse, rough, and irritating, and it gets everywhere. And here's what the Chantel campaign paint looks like. I've just had to change the stock out for a wooden one, but it gives it this nice little woodland sort of camo, and there's nothing for the magazine, so I just left that as is. Okay, so this is one of the AK variants that weren't listed on the actual mod page. I've given it the Dragoon suppressed barrel, which funnily enough makes the range go down into the negatives, which means I'm going to have maximum range anywhere, so that is going to be a very, very good sniper weapon indeed. But yeah, that's probably the only thing notable about that. The Dragoon barrel, I think, is kind of cool there. It's like an AK barrel, integrally suppressed, no handguard, so you'll burn your hands on it, but you're fighting in Anchorage, so your fingers are probably freezing anyway. They could use a little bit of warming up. The AKs of the Wasteland start spawning in the Wasteland at level 5. You'll find it in shops, on Raiders, and Gunners. Gunners will obviously have parts that are slightly in better condition because they're higher-end mercenaries, but level 5, that's where you get them. Alrighty, we're outside of Immersive Gunners Plaza. Here is our AK-112 in first person with its reflex sight on the top there. And take a quick look in third person. That's what it looks like. Very long barrel for this thing, but the rate of fire seems to be higher than what this thing's actually cycling the rounds. The ammo is going down way slower than the rate of fire would suggest, but that's what the AK-112 looks like in third person. I've collected all of them. I've got all of them. So here is the AK-74, or just like it's AKM. It's a high caliber version of the AK, and it's also very fast. There's a reload animation in third person. Here is the short barreled one. This one's got a little reflex sight on it, very similar to that of the AK-112. And here is an ASL. Slightly different sounds, all vanilla. Reload animations slightly different for this particular receiver. And look at that cartridge that's spitting out. That is some serious bullet serious cartridge for the magazine. Here is an LMG variant of the Chinese assault rifle. This one appears to be very, very fast, but its recoil is throwing me all around the place. So close quarters, probably much better. Tap fire over range would probably be the order of the day. Here is regular old Chinese assault rifle, made to be like the Anchorage simulation version. There's its reload animation. Compact version is next, after I skip the other version. This one's got that makeshift reflex sight on it, and it's certainly interesting. And here's that weird, funky Mariner rifle, complete with the scope. It's a see-through scope, so all of that recoil animation is being magnified fourfold, so it's going to be a little bit hard to actually aim with that thing. Now here's the Dragunov. This one's got that cool PSO. I've also given it a slightly bigger magazine. That's Discord, don't worry about it. And here's East German AK. This one is got a twist though. It's got a big magazine and that blue reflex sight and the Deadeye legendary effect. Cool. I put a couple of legendary effects on these things because otherwise I'd be using the same weapon over and over. Discord, please. Next is the Galil machine gun variant. Reload that. That's a handmade rifle reload in third person, but in first person, slightly different again. Nice. And a compact version with the explosive legendary effect. That's going to be fun. And we've also got just the standard version of the rifle with a night vision scope, currently during daylight hours, so not much help for me, but it certainly looks cool with that different overlay. Here is the Hungarian AK. We've seen this scope before, and yeah, that's going to be hard to use. The scope may have been a little bit too much for that. And lastly, we've got the ill-informed performance model. Check out that. 4800 DPS, rate of fire 180. So it should be really good, right? Well, despite this thing's fire rate being as fast as it is, notice how the rounds are going down much slower. I think this one's a little bit bugged. There's something wrong with it. It's not working as intended. The DPS is, well, that might be a visual bug, to be honest, but that's all of our guns. Okay, let's begin this with the variant that I made with a negative range stat, because I think it means that we're going to actually receive this thing's maximum damage over anything, right? 257 is not too bad, and we get a half-decent zoom in, but we have to tap the trigger. If I hold the trigger down, this thing's going to be bouncing around in my face, and I'm not going to be able to hit anything. I think the recoil also shifts the crosshair around a little bit as well. But it's mostly the just the recoil animation that's killing me, and that AP usage is huge. I'm not going to be able to get that much of a streak with this thing. There we go. We're sort of defending this position pretty well right now. Ah, mosquitoes have shown up. Well, that's annoying. Let's chop them down. Maybe we'll go over to something that'll be a little bit better for us. So we'll go over for our longer barreled LMG variant and just hold the trigger down. That seems to be working a little bit better. We'll peek around the corner here. Oh, this is a perfect moment. Whilst they're all sort of gathered in like that, and ooh, now we're in danger. Okay, one more magazine. And then we'll move on to something else. But yeah, this, oh, there's plenty of recoil to be had with this thing. The stocks don't tell you which one is better for controlling the recoil. I mean, I probably could have been paying attention to the perk requirements to give me an indication of that, but usually there's a description or prefixes. She just double through a bloody Molotov. And come on, just hit him, please. Okay, a little bit inconsistent so far. Let's go over to our AK-112 and see if the it does better for us. Yeah, not too bad. Let's charge right in here. It's kicking like a two-shot automatic rifle. That's what it feels like. Which is, I don't mind that it's kicking. It's a little bit less consistent and predictable as other recoil patterns, so it does feel like it's very unwieldy in the hands, which I think I don't know. I kind of dig it. Like, this is Chinese. We're not expecting maximum quality here. This is just get it off the line as soon as possible so Jingwei can get gunned down for the glory of the People's Republic or something. Oh, wait, Jingwei was the general. Maybe not that guy. He's probably a little bit more important than the peasants that they conscript into their grand army. Anyways, let's continue. And this guy, effective cover, but unfortunately stayed in place. And for some reason, this thing, I think we're firing... No, this is firing the 5.56 cartridges, and it definitely feels like there's less recoil about it. So maybe there's a little bit of a realism sprinkled there in terms of how easy it is to control the weapons. The shorter barrel, not too bad either. I feel like in terms of its damage, it's not too bad at all. I'm not overly, like, bullet sponging it up here, but I do feel like that we're hitting hard enough to make it enough of a challenge. Kind of outgunned here, though. What else have we got? Maybe we'll go for an ASVAL. Perhaps this thing would be good in VATS. Actually, no, we are heavily out of range right now. Let's go some VATS criticals, yes. Okay. Exited VATS a little bit earlier there, but it all worked out in the end. It'd be cool if you got a sort of a rate of fire modifier on the ASVAL variant to make it fire as fast, but I think looks-wise, I don't know, you could argue that it's like lore-friendly, like an ASVAL Type 93 sort of hybrid, which, you know, I was reading about the Chinese AK a little bit earlier. That's the Type 56, so the Type 93 is the Chinese assault rifle, so whoops. I misspoke there, but anyway, it's neither here nor there. Let's go back to regular Fallout 3 style Chinese assault rifle. Can't really see the sights. They did a better job with the iron sights back in the days where you got a huge zoom in and made it really obvious where it's going to go. I've had mods where you could aim down the sights of the Fallout 3 guns and it was kind of cool using the aiming down sights function in the old Chinese AR.
Don't move.
Well, probably should have reloaded first. Okay, that worked out well. Let's go over to our compact 45 caliber version. We've only got a 24 round magazine, so we're gonna make them count, damn it. I'm hoping with the shorter barrel and makeshift reflex sight, we can get a nice little COD breach happening here.
Got it.
That was okay. If I was a little bit more accurate, I would have probably gotten both. Although, without the stock supporting this thing's firing platform, a little bit unstable. She's kicking a little bit. And we've also, we've missed out on a couple of things here. So, let's continue this elsewhere. Okay, let's continue, but instead of Gunners Plaza, we'll be at this place. What's it called? Quincy. The grave of the Minutemen. So what we'll do is we'll just snipe a little bit, and there's a man on the lookout post who might be a little bit privy to the fact that his own dudes are being shot at. Oh, that's the Hitman animations. This thing is two-fanging. I love that. That's been around for ages. That's one of those... It's like one of those Bethesda bugs that have overstayed its welcome, but it's just a... It's just like a modding thing. Oh, no, the sights are broken again. We'll just change viewpoints, please. Thank you. And now... Nice. We'll get that shot, and then we'll quickly at least attempt to climb up the side of the church. There we go. For fuck's sake. Okay, here now, and we'll survey and see if we can't find any gunners sitting around. Oh, there's one. Sitting down. 1,000 damage, and they were still standing, and another 500 after that. They make those gunners tough, I tell ya. And is there... Ooh, there's people a little bit alert to my position. I do enjoy the hip fire on this thing, too. I think it's pretty good. But where's that gunner going? She's only got a baton. We'll be able to beat her to death with this thing. Well, that guy's got a missile launcher. Yeah, I can tank those all day. What are you going to do about it? I'll probably go for a different weapon now. Let's go for an East German approach. There we go. With the Deadeye Legendary effect, we'll be able to zero into their faces and shoot them all dramatic-like and get the jet jumps going, because whenever the game's in slow motion, it alters how physics work, how your character interacts with the world. Right, we have power armor here. Hell yeah. We'll blow that helmet clean off her head and then keep putting bullets in until we find... Okay, they had an anti-material rifle. Ooh, there's a sniping opportunity over there. I suppose... Well, let's bring out something different. Let's go to the Hungarian AK with this oversized scope on it. There's one Rust Devil there. We gotta tap fire this thing, because if I try to full auto this thing, there's no way in hell I'm hitting that guy. Okay, good. I thought my bullets were being stopped by the thingo there. Oh, there's another eyebot. Just hit him with wall hacks. There's not really much going on there. Ah, there's someone over there. Perfect. Nice. How about we go for that performance version that I was talking about earlier? We should get okay damage. We're getting full out 76 type fire rates on this thing. That is not cool, man. That they slowed that down so it wouldn't interact with that so bad, and that is a Soltron laser. Put that away. I swear I was Cinemass for most of that. The performance version, it hasn't gone to plan. And you know what? This can just go away now. Let's go over to the Galil variants here. Make sure I kick it off. Ooh, that was some nice hitboxes. So this one, I can probably full auto this person from down here and get a lot of consistent hits. So yeah, this thing feels a lot more, well, it feels a lot more high quality than your Chinese rifles that I was using previous to this little area. He's throwing a Molotov. That's going to get me. Nope. Just off. Good arm though. Off his non-preferred. Alright, I think now is the time to actually take it to him. And to do that, we'll use the compact variant. Complete with I already killed the turret. The explosive round, so that extra punch. If they're coming to charge me down, well, they've got another thing coming. And I think the only one left is, what, the one that... Oh, there's a turret there still. Easy prey. And then, yes, the standard Galil rifle with that night vision bit. I suppose we'll just hip fire. Nope, that's fine. Okay, well that was pretty fun. Let's dim the lights and try to take out the Swan. We've got this night vision scope. I think I know what the plan is. Oh, and a quick word on the outfit, just in case you're interested. A couple of people have been commenting, but this is what I've got. This is VTOL Wardrobe 10, which is currently, as of this recording, only Patreon. That's the top with the Pikachu thing I want it. Then there's VTOL Wardrobe 8 stuff, 9. Most of it is actually from 9, but this is what it looks like. The top here, the Pikachu, it's because the Sheila who voiced her, Letitia Lemon, she's into her Pokemon card, so it makes sense that that Lily would be wearing something from Pokemon. I showed her on Twitter, and she thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, that's it. That's what the outfit is, and the combat boots. They work pretty well too. Okay, now it is the dead of night, and we are hunting a giant swan. It feels weird not utilizing this thing during the day, or fighting this one during the day. Looks like there's a bunch of raiders around him. We'll try to clean them up as much as possible. And if he decides to finish the last of them off, then that would be a pretty good outcome for us. Not quite ready. According to my perception, there's only one dude left. And whoever it is down there, he's not taking a lot of damage. Okay, now we're good to go. That is so much better. We're a little bit out of this thing's intended range, but we'll hammer these crits in anyway, just to really get into him, add insult to injury there. And since this is the middle of the night, he's not going to be seeing me anytime soon. We're still going to backpedal, though. I think I just tripped the fire rate for a second by doing the aim down sights animation. No. Coincidence. Sometimes vanilla games weapons do that as well. And as easy as that, without taking a single scratch, we've taken this one. A little bit of cheese in that, I think, but you get the idea. Okay, well, I think we'll have time for one more, so let's see what we can do. Let's try a fight with less cheese, or just kidding, probably less cheese or something. We'll take out the local insectoid population with the LMG version. So far, so good. And you know what, let's not even reload. Let's just start hammering this guy and see what we can do. Plenty of staggers so far, so that's pretty good. But now we'll bring out the classic, and we'll see what the Anchorage Chinese assault rifle could do. We've got a bunch of crits on standby as well. I was hoping for a stagger on the crit, but looks like it's just a random chance if it does. Also, there's bashing animations, but I'm not crazy enough to try to get a bash finisher on this guy. Or am I? We seem to be throwing him around a little bit, so that's good. Might just be the standard sort of commando perk. Give me that little bit of extra stagger. Nope. Okay, let's give him a crit. He was going for his charge attack there. We've actually done pretty well to avoid that. And, oh, no. Very, very light hit there. He's barely touched me at all. I don't know where he struck me, but that's... it's going to take more than that, Mr. Wendigo. Okay, here we go. We'll get the bash finisher on you instead. Haha, take that. Okay, opinionist aside, I think you get the idea. So that was AKs of the Wasteland, and honestly, I feel like it feels like the Chinese assault rifle was somewhat faithfully recreated. It feels clumsy and random and inconsistent, so it's honestly the same as it was back in Fallout 3 with the wayward gun spread that was present within that game. And its other variants too just add more to this weapon platform, because it feels like, I don't know, it's like they've caught up with standard Western procedure and have sort of made this rifle that the parts are similar but can be reproduced easily, and are able to make this thing, mass produce this thing for many different roles, is what I'm getting at. So that sounds like a smart thing to do. And the other variants of this thing, although they're not quite right, it's some cool detail. It's icing on the cake. I think they've done pretty well with this thing. So a lot of weapon variety for not really that much on your load order. And if you switch it down to a light, then it'd be 0. But in terms of its customization and the ability just to craft so much from just one mod, I feel like this is definitely worth looking at. And there's that lore-friendly part of it too. I think the Chinese soldiers in the Fallout 4 intro are carrying the Galil weapons, which is interesting. An Israeli weapon would be used against America. I wonder if that's just a coincidence, or we're supposed to read into that for the lore perspective. Kind of like how Nate was a confirmed war criminal because he was the guy standing next to the dude who shot the man in the back of the head in the Fallout 1 intro. Interesting. Lore nerds, explain it. Anyways, that's it for this weapon. Check out link in the description if you want to go and find it. There's an Xbox variant. I'll be sure to post a link for that one as well, but hopefully there is, because it's a cool weapon mod. Go check it out. Thank you very much for watching, guys.